and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Ludacris going in.
All right, you guys ready for the last speaker? You guys know who the last speaker is? All company MVP. Breaking all type of records. Newly promoted field chairman. Give a warm welcome to Olson.
Introducing Field Chairman Olson.
Good afternoon, WFG! Hey, it's an honor and a privilege to speak to you guys this afternoon, especially to close out this incredible convention. Hasn't this been an unbelievable convention the last couple days? Man. They say that lives are changed at big events, and I believe there's a lot of lives that are going to be changed here at the MGM Grand in the Mandalay Bay, and I am really, really excited for all of you guys here. So we're going to finish strong. Is that okay? All right, let's go ahead and finish strong. Hey, who likes that song that we just played, the Billionaire song? Anybody like that song? All right, that's pretty cool. Hey, you know, I'll get my slideshow here. You know that Rockefeller, he said there's a way for you to become a billionaire. It's pretty cool. And he said, if you want to be a billionaire, then you have to develop 1,000 millionaires, right? Pretty cool. You know, there's a direct correlation to the people you help and the people you build and the people you develop with how much money you're going to make. And that's our big goal that we talk about all the time. We want to develop 1,000 millionaires in our organization, and just by direct correlation, we'll be billionaires. And it's a pretty awesome thing. But let me tell you where it all started. You know, back in 2003, I went to my first national convention. And who stayed at the MGM Grand Hotel? Anybody staying at the MGM Grand Hotel? All right, who's staying at the Mandalay Bay? Right, all the rest, everybody at the other arena, the Mandalay Bay, where this is where I stayed at my first convention. The Terribles Hotel, and let me tell you, it lived up to its name. That's for sure. And I remember I had to walk 2 miles to the convention to get here. It was about $19.99 per night, and I split it with my one guy, and we were good. And that's where it all started. And I don't remember too much from the convention because I was sitting on the 3rd deck, way up high, right? But all I kept hearing was, I make $1 million. I make $1 million. I was like, what did they say? Everyone's making $1 million, right? And I was sitting there making $28,000 a year at my job at the airport. And I was just thinking, everybody's making $1 million except me. That's crazy, right? And everybody kept saying at this event that we're going to make sure that we go from good to great. We're going to become the best versions of ourselves, and you know, you got to reinvent yourself and you got to get better. And so me and my one guy, Anthony, we created a team name, and we said we want to be Pinnacle because we want to be at the top, right? Because there's way too many excuses at the bottom. And so we developed this team name named Pinnacle, and we want to be at the top. And, you know, Rich Stolley started this RBLC. You guys know what that stands for? Recruit, build, lead, and compete. And then Rich Stolley passed that down to Ed Milet, and Ed Milet passed it down to me, and we passed it down to our team. But is anybody from Team Pinnacle here today? And so, hey, we've been on a big mission the last 12 months, and I know a couple people said, hey, you guys had a pretty good couple months. Well, the last 12 months, our team was up 53%. The last 12 months, and so we got some big things going on. We had a mission, and the mission was accomplished, which is pretty exciting. You know, a lot of people, they want to be millionaires, they want to do big things, but let me just tell you something. You can't have $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic. You know, some people, they want to make millions of dollars, they want to change their life, but they're still thinking like employees, right? You got to change your mindset. You got to shift your mindset to an entrepreneur, right? And you got to understand that there's work involved. Right? You know, a lot of people say this business is too good to be true. The only catch is there's work involved. You got to go out there and put in the time and put in the effort, and guess what? You'll absolutely reach your goals and dreams and whatever you want to accomplish. You know, one of my spiritual mentors, he told me, everybody wants the glory, but most people aren't willing to go through their story, right? You know what that means, right? You got to go through your story. If you want the glory, guess what? There's some work involved. And I know you guys aren't afraid of hard work. You know, this is from Bill Gates. I like this. He said, there's no secret. I simply showed my plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no. I signed up 300 people. 85 actually did anything. 30 took it seriously, and 11 made me a multimillionaire. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like WFG? Right? That's WFG. So I want to let you guys know, you got to play big numbers. You can't say, I talked to 4 people and this thing doesn't work. Are you kidding me? You got to go out there and talk to people. You got to go out there and make sure everybody knows what we're doing. We do good things for people. We change people's lives. You got to be passionate about it, right? You got to go home, talk to more people than you ever have. You know, one of my goals when I started this company when I was 21 years old, I said I want to be a millionaire in my 20s. Right? I went out there and played big numbers, and guess what? That happened. I became a millionaire in my 20s, which is pretty exciting. I want to let you know, if I can do it, you can do it, 110%. So, you know, a lot of people are employees, and that's okay, because I was an employee first to get started. But if you think about it, if you're really going to change your life, if you're really going to make millions of dollars in this company, you can't stay at your job forever, right? You've got to go out there and make a big decision, and you've heard that big decisions are made at big events. So what does this say? If you don't have big dreams and goals, you'll end up working really hard for someone that does. So let me ask you a question. Do you want to spend your entire life making some other man or some other woman rich? Or do you want to spend your entire life helping your own family get wealthy? It's totally up to you, either way. So I want you to think about something. I want you to shift your mindset from being an employee to an entrepreneur. I know some of you guys are doing pretty good. Some of you guys make pretty good income, but pretty good compared to what? Right? You can't be afraid to give up good and go for the great. I really want you to think like that. You can't be afraid to give up good and go out there and get great. I want to let you know this company will allow you to achieve some incredible things. But if you keep just holding on to good, you'll never get great. You know, I want to talk to you about the American dream, about being an entrepreneur. You know, a lot of people, they come in with corporate mindset, an employee mindset, just like I did, and that's okay, but I want to let you know you really have to shift your thinking to entrepreneurism. And there's a poem that I'd like you to read. We can say it together if we can. Here we go. Ready? The road to success is paved with tests, so you gotta believe in yourself above the rest. Dream big and let your passion shine. If you don't, you won't end up with a dime. Challenge the status quo, disrupt the market and say yes. And remember that innovation is an endless quest. Don't forget to change business for good. If you want to change the world, then you probably should. If you think with your head and listen to your heart, I promise you'll get off to a flying start. Make bold moves, but always play fair. Always say please and thank you. It's cool to care. Do what you love and love what you do. This advice is nothing new. Now stop worrying about whether your business will be a hit. Rise to the challenge and say, screw it, let's do it. Woo! Hey, I want you to turn to your neighbor and say, screw it, let's do it. All right. Hey, listen to this. Listen to this. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Think about that. All right? Are you willing to spend 5, 10 years, 15 years, as long as it takes to become financially independent, to become successful, to give your family a better life, right? It's temporary sacrifice for permanent gain. No risk, no reward, right? And so when I started at 21 years old, I got sold the dream. As some of you guys know, I played sports my whole life, and football, and baseball, and basketball, and track and field, and wrestling. I did sports my whole life, and at that time I was playing college football, and I said, man, I'd love to one day coach my kids in sports. That would be an amazing accomplishment. I just love coaching people. I love little kids. I'd love to coach them one day. And I got sold the dream that if I worked hard temporarily, I can do what I want for the rest of my life. And, you know, I was blessed. We have a couple kids. I have a couple boys. And I'm actually able to coach them right now. Jeremiah and Cameron, they're 5 and 6 years old. I coach them right now in baseball, basketball, and football right now, which is pretty cool. We actually went undefeated in our basketball team, right? Pretty cool. Yeah, they don't keep score, but you know Daddy was keeping score. That's for sure. And I was super excited about that. And yeah, hey, we work hard. Right? We do work hard, but I'm able to coach my kids, and I love that. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world is coach these little kids, and we have 3 kids now, and they love WFG. They love Transamerica. They love Aegon, man. They just love it. We travel the world. They're all in private schools. They're 5, 6, and 7. They keep us busy. Man, we have a blast. It's absolutely incredible. I can't wait to pass our business on to them one day. It's going to be incredible. So last night, some of you guys saw, hey, when I first started, this was my little base shop, right? And then it was my SMDs. Now it's my CEOs. These are just CEOs and executive vice chairmen who were here last night. By the way, didn't Chip Palin do a great job yesterday, right? Hey. Didn't Mario Bayona do a great job this morning? Didn't Juan Jaime do an incredible job this afternoon? Didn't Paul Hart do an unbelievable job emceeing this morning? So hey, when you see our name on top of the leaders bulletin, that's because of this team right here. We have some incredible leaders. They say that leaders create more leaders, right? And that's what it's all about. We're in the leadership development business. Let me ask you a question. What business are you in? Right? I'm in the leadership development business. We happen to do financial services, and we help people tremendously with that. But guess what? We're in the leadership development business. Our mission statement is no family left behind, but let's start with your family first. You got to change your family so then you can go help other people. So hurry up and become successful so then for the rest of your life, you can help other people become successful. You know, I tell my team all the time, hey, we sell a big dream, but we want to deliver on that dream for people. And I don't care if it's going to be, you know, kicking and screaming across the finish line. We're going to drag you to success, whatever it takes. As long as you meet me halfway, we'll take you to the top of the company. And that's not just me, that's WFG in whole. If you give us commitment, guess what? You'll be reaping the benefits for the rest of your life. So, hey, and then I met my MVP. I recruited up, right? And met my MVP, most valuable person of our team. And they say it's very rare to be a winner, but it's even more rare when you're with another winner. And this lady, she's as competitive, as intense, works just as hard as I do. And that's Sandra, and I appreciate her so much. And we talk, and we have some big goals. You know, people are like congratulating me, man, you made $4 million last year, that's awesome, you got your ring. Are you gonna like stop building a bass shop? Are you gonna shut it down? Are you gonna retire? I said, heck no, I'm just getting started, baby. We are just getting started right now. And so, hey, we have some big goals. We have some big dreams, right? We talk about them all the time, right? We put it out there. Some people think it's an exaggeration because we talk so big. We're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to make it happen. And people think it's an exaggeration. They don't know it's our affirmation, right? So when I started, when I was 21 years old, I was like, man, I'm going to make $1 million in my 20s. And everyone thought I was crazy because I was making $28,000 a year at my job. Right? But I just kept putting in the work. I kept prospecting. I kept making calls. I kept going on appointments. I kept getting after it. And guess what? Made $1 million in my 20s. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to make $1 million a month in my 30s. I said, Sandra, are you in? She said, I'm in. Let's do it. Right? And we started talking about, we're going to make $1 million a month. We're going to make $1 million a month. Everyone's like, what the heck are you talking about? That's crazy. Nobody does that. And I kept saying, by the time I'm 40, I'm going to make $1 million a month. And it just so happens the last 30 days, you know, we get paid every Tuesday, every Friday. So May 16th to June 16th. You want to know what that says? Bam! Woo! Hey, one more time if you didn't catch it in the Mandalay Bay. Bam! That's what that said. Owners, that's net. That's net personal cash flow the last 30 days. You know, a lot of people talk, well, my business gross, we did 22 million. Well, what's your net? 160,000. Right? Isn't that interesting? Right? This is the last 30 days. Hey, who would like to make $1 million a year? Would that be pretty cool? Anybody? Hey, how about making $1 million a month? Right? That's what I'm talking about. Man, I love this company. This is absolutely incredible, right? Just amazing. This business has changed my life. And just an average and ordinary guy like me can do extraordinary things. And, you know, Muhammad Ali, rest in peace. Man, that guy wanted to be the greatest of all time. He always talked about it, and I believe he was one of the greatest. And he said, champions aren't made in gyms. Champions are made from something they have deep inside of them. A desire, a dream, a vision. They have to have the skill and the will. But the will must be stronger than the skill. And I want to let you guys know, I think all of you guys are skillful people. I think you're talented people, and that's why you're here, right? Let me ask you a question. Do you have the will? Do you want it bad? Right? Because if you want it bad enough, guess what? You'll find a way to get it. Right? Whatever it takes, as long as it's legal and moral and ethical, you're going to go do whatever it takes, and you're going to go make it happen. You know, they say the only shortcut is to do it right the first time. If you put in the work, you put in the effort, you put in the time, guess what? You're going to be super successful in this company, and that's our goal for you to make that happen. So, you know, I like Muhammad Ali, and I like these boxers. I don't know if you guys know, I used to be a boxer, and I'll show you my boxing picture here, right here. I used to be a boxer, and this was me and Penny in Hawaii a couple months ago, and we were messing around, and all of a sudden it got intense because we're like, who's going to be the MVP of this convention? And then we just went and just sprawled up, and then Greg Kapp had to come in here and literally save the day because it might have got crazy, right? Just kidding. Not really, but hey, competition drives performance. I love Penny and Ben. They're awesome people. They're amazing. And they say when you compete, you got to compete up. Right? I've definitely competed up with Penny because she's incredible. She's a legend. She's been in the company 20 plus years. She's awesome. And guess what? I want to let you guys know, you got to compete up. competition drives performance. So let me ask you a question. Who are you competing with right now? Right? And we do it for fun, right? I help Penny, she helps me, we do it for fun. But I want to let you know, competition drives performance. I thought you guys might get a laugh out of that. So here we go. I'm going to tell you guys a little story here. This is called The Elephant Wrote the Story. And I really want you guys to think about this because I read this story a while back and I really believe it can change your mindset a little bit, and that's what we're trying to do. So let me read it to you. As a man was passing the elephants, he suddenly stopped, confused by the fact that these huge creatures were being held by only a small rope tied to their front leg. No chains, no cages. It was obvious that the elephants could at any time break away from their bonds, but for some reason, they did not. He saw a trainer nearby and asked why these animals just stood there and made no attempt to get away. Well, trainer said, when they are very young and much smaller, we use the same size rope to tie them, and at that age, it's enough to hold them. As they grow up, they are conditioned to believe that they cannot break away. They believe the rope can still hold them, so they never try to break free. The man was amazed. These animals could at any time break free from their bonds, but because they believed they couldn't, they were stuck right where they were. Like the elephants, how many of us go through life hanging on to a belief that we cannot do something simply because we failed at it once before? Let me ask you a question. What rope is holding you back here today? Is it your limiting beliefs? Because they say if you believe it, you can achieve it. Is it someone in your family that keeps telling you you can't do it? Is it your job? Is that your rope? Is it corporate America holding you back with a little paycheck? What's your rope that's holding you back here today? Because I believe there is greatness inside of you, but you got to break through. Just like that elephant, you got to break through. So I want you to make a decision today to cut your rope. Turn to your neighbor and say, you got to cut your rope.
You gotta cut your rope. Cut your rope. Cut your rope. Cut your rope.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that interesting? Man.
Maria.
Hey, I want to tell you guys something.
Hey,
here
you're
real
too
quick.
far away.
I don't know about you guys, but ever since I was a little kid, man, I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to do something big. I thought I was going to be in professional sports, but that didn't work out for me. So guess what? I took everything I had, I put into this company. I want to let you know they delivered. I understand that you've been at other companies, they didn't deliver. I want to let you know, you've been in corporate America, you've been in other stuff, you failed. You know what FAIL stands for? First attempt in learning. I understand you failed once before. That doesn't mean you're going to fail again. If you meet us halfway, you commit to this business, guess what? It could happen for you 110%. So I want you to think about this. You're going into a season where you're about to experience some breakthrough. Breakthrough after breakthrough. Because what you went through didn't break you. Hey, I know you've been through some adversity. I know you've been through some stuff in your life. I know it was hard just getting here today. I understand that. But guess what? It didn't break you. I want you to cut through that rope. I want you to get after it. And I want you to be on this stage next year at the National Convention. Who's with me on that? In closing here, isn't it a crazy story how you're even a part of this company right now? How you got your business code number, right? Isn't it nuts, right? I mean, just crazy how it all works out. But I want to let you know, everything happens for a reason. Do you believe that? You're supposed to be a part of this company. You're supposed to change your last name forever. You're supposed to go help a lot of families. You're supposed to go make a lot of money. And I want to let you know, it's not just you. You're going to pass this business on to your kids, and then their kids, and then their kids, and generations to come will be blessed because of your decision. So let me ask you a question. What rope do you need to cut? What limiting beliefs do you have? Right? Because guess what? You got to start thinking a lot bigger. You can't think small anymore. You got to start thinking like an entrepreneur. You can't think like an employee anymore. You can do this business 110%. I believe in you. We believe in you. And that's why you're here. WFG will not leave you behind. But you got to meet us halfway. This is an incredible company. We have amazing leaderships. We have the best products in the world. But we need you. We need your commitment. Now, I commend you for being here the last 2 days. But I really believe deep down in my heart, you have so much more to give. You have so much more to do. You absolutely can give this business a lot more than what you're giving so far. And I want to let you know, if you really do give this thing your best, oh my goodness, the rest of your life will be the best of your life. Who's with me on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you're committed to have the rest of your life be the best of your life, I want you to stand up right now. In the MGM brand, in the Mandalay Bay, I want you to stand up. Hey, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions. We're going to have some fun here. I'm going to ask you a question. When I ask you a question, I want you to say, we do. When I ask you a question, I want you to say, we do. And I want you to be loud, and I want you to be proud, and I want you to be fired up from the MGM to the Mandalay Bay. I want you to be excited. Hasn't this last couple days been an incredible national convention? Can we give all the speakers a big round of applause? Decisions are made at big events. Big decisions are made at big events. And if you want big results in your lifetime, you got to make big decisions. So what big decisions are you willing to make over the next day or two? What rope are you going to have to cut? Right? Temporary sacrifice for permanent gain. You have to give up good to get great. Who's willing to give up good to get great? Anybody? I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to say, we do. And I want you to be loud. I want you to be proud. I want you to be fired up. I want you to be excited. You have in your hands right now the best business platform in the world. My question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to go out there and get your fair share or your unfair share? Either way, we want you to give your 100%, and you'll be reaping the benefits for the rest of your life. So here we go. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to say, we do. You're going to say, what? We do. Who has the best company to work for with Aegon, Transamerica, and WFG?
We do.
Who has the best system to make all of your dreams and goals come true?
We do.
Who has the best compensation plan in the world?
We do.
Who has the most momentum in the entire financial services industry?